open up. Open up or I'll dump him on the porch. John! Anybody home?
My uncle isn't here.
Hello.
Is he dead?
Smell him.
Ooh, smells like a brewery.
I think he's trying to be one.
Well, who is he? Why have you brought him here?
Don't you want him?
Well, I certainly do not, and I'll thank you kindly to get him out of here.
I don't think your uncle would like that. Where is he?
He's out looking for Danny Hawkins, the cook.
That's Danny Hawkins, the cook.
Oh.
You haven't been here very long, have you?
No, I just arrived this afternoon from Boston.
And you're Miss Catherine Mary O'Fallon. Your uncle told me he was expecting you. I'm Sergeant Mike Flannigan.
That's the idea. Get up.
Shut up.
It's a great, glorious victory.
What's he talking about?
He's celebrating the Boer War.
That was over years ago.
Danny's still celebrating.
All right.
Miss O'Fallon, do you have any coffee ready?
I will have as soon as it boils.
All right. It's a great, glorious victory.
I hope it boils before Danny starts celebrating Waterloo.
What are you going to do with him?
All right.
Why don't you pump that handle, Miss O'Fallon?
It's water. I'm drowning.
How about that coffee now? My boy, you're in no condition to get supper tonight. Can you cook, Miss O'Fallon?
Of course I can cook. I made this coffee.
Well, then you're elected to get supper for your uncle. Thanks. You made this?
Mm-hmm.
Now I know why it's tea they prefer in Boston.
Isn't it strong enough?
Danny, my good man, I'm thinking you'll never again celebrate the end of the Boer War. This coffee's going to take the lining clean out of your stomach.
Poison. I'm poisoned.
The poison might indeed be kinder. You better get started with supper. I'll give you a hand as soon as I get into bed. On second thought, Miss O'Fallon, don't touch a thing. I'll fix it myself.
Oh, is that yourself, Mike?
Morning, John.
Denise tells me you helped to fix up that good dinner last night.
Yeah, I helped a little. Sorry I couldn't stay around till you got home.
Well, if ever you need a permanent job as a cook, I'll hire you.
I'll remember that.
Kind of early for you to be around, isn't it?
Oh, I hadn't noticed the time.
You looking for someone?
No, I just thought as long as I was in the neighborhood, I might as well say hello to Miss O'Fallon. That is, she'll speak to me.
Well, the last I saw of her, she said she was going to get one of the hands to saddle a horse for her.
Can she ride?
That, Michael, is a moot question. Very moot indeed.
Whoa, Bolo. Well, good morning, Miss O'Fallon.
Oh, it's you again. Why did you stop me?
You better get off before you fall off.
I was enjoying myself.
Where are you now? You'll find, Miss O'Fallon, that if you're going to ride a man's saddle, you'll do well to wear a man's pants.
I was doing very nicely, thank you.
Mike, will you be a good lad and prevent the calamity?
John had asked me to prevent a calamity. I suppose I did so far as Kathy's riding was concerned. She learned to wear a man's pants, and she became quite an expert horsewoman. But as I came to know Kathy better, another kind of calamity threatened. I began to fall in love with her. I struggled against it as best I could, but I was doomed from the start.
I hereby award you a medal for courage above and beyond the line of duty, for teaching Catherine O'Fallon how to ride a horse.
Well, that's an honor I shall always treasure.
Aren't you going to wear it?
I'm afraid the commissioner wouldn't understand. You know, rules and regulations.
Oh, the force is just full of rules and regulations. I happened to hear a certain person say the other day that a Mountie had to be a member of the force for 5 years before he could get married. Now, they wouldn't have a regulation like that, would they, Mike?
That is the regulation, Kathy.
Oh, but that's so silly.
There's a reason for it. After 5 years, a man knows what kind of life he's asking the woman to share with him.
Well, I think that's terribly unfair. How long have you been in the force, Mike?
Oh, about 6.5 years.
Oh, that long. Oh, well, I guess the men who write those regulations really do know best.
I hope so.
Because if you'd married a few years ago, you might have made a terrible mistake. Well, take the snow, for instance.
Snow?
Oh, they do have snow in the north where you're going, don't they?
Well, we have snow, yes.
It's probably just like Boston in the winter.
Well, no, Kathy, it's not. I've lived in places where my closest neighbor was 2 weeks away by dog team.
The trouble with Boston is it's so crowded. People are all jammed together.
The North Country is rough, sometimes dangerous.
Well, do you know how many people were killed in Boston last year by horseless carriages?
It gets awfully cold up north. I've seen the thermometer drop to 50 and 60 degrees below zero.
You know something, Mike? I never catch cold in the winter.
Really?
Never.
Sometimes a Mountie goes on patrol for weeks and weeks.
Well, if you really love a person, you're never alone.
If we're going to get to that dance, I better take you back to Uncle John's.
Come in, Mike.
Hello, John.
It's fresh and when you're looking.
Kathy ready?
She's been getting ready all the week, so I suppose we won't be long now. It was nice of you to ask her.
I thought a barn dance might be something new for her.
Yes, I'm sure it would. You cold?
Yeah, looks like fall's on the way. It's getting chilly outside.
Soon there'll be enough snow for a dog sled north of Edmonton. I guess you'll be heading for the Northwest Territory any time now.
That's right.
It's a tough life, Mike. A tough life.
I like it.
Well, it may be all right for a man, but I never could see how anyone could take a woman up there.
John, all I'm doing is taking Kathy to a dance at McGregor's place.
Especially a woman that's reared in the city, and that wouldn't have the least idea of what she was heading for.
There's no snow at McGregor's, and it's only 10 miles south and not north.
10 miles? Well, they say if you give a man an inch, he'd take a mile. That'd figure out if you give him 10 miles, he'd take 300 or 400. All north.
Not this man, John, as much as I'd like to.
Well, I just thought I'd ask you.
Did you ask?
I never hit a question right on the head, Mike. But sort of come around sideways.
Kathy.
Sorry I kept you waiting.
It's quite all right. John kept me well entertained.
A vision of loveliness if ever I saw one. Right, Mike?
Right.
Well, you're going to be the belle of the ball. Now, come on, hurry off the pair, you. And have a good time.
Mike,
Yes?
what did Uncle John mean about giving a man an inch and he wants hundreds of miles?
How much did you hear?
Not enough, I'm afraid.
That's good.
What did you mean about as much as I'd like to?
I didn't mean a thing.
Oh. Don't you think it depends on the woman? Don't you?
Well, if you'd done a good job of eavesdropping, you'd have also heard me tell your uncle I wasn't taking any woman farther than McGregor's ranch.
Was that as far as you go?
That's as far as I go.
All right. Can't we go there a little faster? It was the nicest dance I've ever been to.
I'm glad you liked it.
Oh, I did. I enjoyed the music and the dancing and... You're not much for talking, are you?
Not much.
Well, I had a wonderful evening.
You said that before.
Didn't you have a nice time?
We have a very strange custom up here. A man usually gets to dance with a girl he brings.
Why, Sergeant Mike, is that what spoiled your evening? Did you really want to dance with me?
Only because it's a custom.
What's the custom up here when it starts to rain? Uncle John, isn't it a little late for you to be up?
No, it's only about 2:30 in the morning. Where's Mike?
Oh, he's seen to the horses.
Well, he better stay in the bunkhouse. Looks like a bad night.
No, Uncle John, it's a beautiful night.
What? What's this you're saying? Why, Kathy, look, you're drenched.
Oh, am I? I hadn't noticed.
Are you all right, child?
I feel wonderful.
Well, now, I'll fix up a nice warm tub for you. You're getting feverish.
Uncle John,
Yes?
have you ever noticed his eyes?
Whose eyes?
Mike's.
Why? What's the matter with them?
They're so blue you could almost swim in them.
Kathy, darling, I think bed would be the best place for you. Now, come on, child.
I thought I told you to get on some dry clothes.
I'm just saying good night to my uncle. Any objections?
Now, run along, Kathy, and I'll bring the tub to you.
You can say goodnight to me in the morning.
Did you have fun at the dance?
It was all right.
Did Kathy have fun?
She seemed to.
Yeah, I'm sure she would. You have to sleep in the bunkhouse tonight.
Well, thanks.
How about a nice hot tub? I'm going to fix one for Kathy.
Oh, I believe not.
Well, come on and help me to fix hers. It snowed in Edmonton today.
Who told you that?
Well, Hanson came through. He was asking for you.
What's he doing down here?
Well, he came down to pick up his wife at her folks' place in Calgary. He's taken her back with him, the poor devil. You know, Mike, that's no place for a woman.
That depends on the woman. John, you're making it pretty hard for me to say what I want to say.
What was it you wanted to say, Mike? Did you ever give any thought to that, Mike?
I've given it a lot of thought, John. If Kathy cares enough for me, she'll want to come with me.
Mike, you put me in a devil of a fix. Now, I'm responsible for Kathy. You know that, don't you?
Yes, I do. I also know that I love her.
Do you, Mike? Do you?
I thought you were going to bed.
Why didn't you tell me?
Go to bed.
I will not. Besides, I got cold up there.
Well, that's easily fixed. It'll save your uncle from carrying your bath upstairs.
Michael,
Oh, it's too hot.
It's good for you.
Uncle John, Uncle John.
Oh, Michael, this has gone too far.
It has indeed. Now's the time to get it settled. You stay right where you are. John, I'm asking your permission to speak to Kathy.
Now, me boy, as I said to you before.
I'll see that she gets the best of care. I love her. I want her to be my wife.
Do you, Mike? Do you?
I thought I told you to stay in the tub. Well, John?
Now, there's no man I'd rather see have her than you, Mike Flannigan. And you know it. But I can't give me permission offhand.
It seems to me that someone else's permission comes first. Have I nothing to say about this? Well, I'm asking the two of you. Have I nothing to say about it at all?
Kathy, your uncle is too good a friend for...
What about me? I hope you think as much of me as you do my uncle.
Of course I do.
Well, then, you just...
God bless you.
Thank you. If you love me, you just tell me. I'm the one to say it to.
Kathy, I love you. I always have, and I think you know it.
Well, then if you want to marry me, you just ask me.
All right. Will you marry me?
I'll think it over. Maybe I will, and maybe I won't.
When Kathy said yes, she was not only accepting me, but also a life that would be far different from anything she had ever experienced before. She said yes to a distant land, to cold and danger, to discomfort and loneliness.
Sergeant and Mrs. Michael Flannigan. It has such a lovely ring to it, doesn't it?
It has indeed, Mrs. Mike. Kathy, I know this isn't the kind of honeymoon a girl from Boston.
If the girls from Boston could see me now, they'd turn green with envy. It'll be a perfect honeymoon.
I hope she'd always feel that way. But I knew that more lay ahead of her than she realized. The railroad ended at Edmonton, and after that we had almost 400 miles by dog team. Kathy found that it was not just like Boston in the winter. Toward the end of the first day, we separated from the other dog teams that had been traveling with us. Kathy suddenly got a sense of the vastness of the snow country. From now on, we would be alone. A man and a woman and a wilderness. But she was very brave about it.
I have the feeling we're the only two people in the whole world.
It's a nice feeling, isn't it, Kathy?
Yes. How far do we travel today?
Well, we did very well today, very well. I'll say we covered at least, 27 miles.
Only 27 miles?
Well, that's good. If we keep that up, we'll be home in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. What's that?
It's only a wolf.
Only a wolf?
Don't be so frightened. You've got the dogs, the fire, me to protect you.
What more could a girl ask?
We kept going as long as the waning daylight would permit. Kathy no longer calculated the days and the miles. Time and space became meaningless. Each day was like the last, cold and white. The first response to extreme cold was drowsiness. It was the danger sign of the snow country, and I had to roust Kathy out of the sled every once in a while to wake her up.
Hi, Keisha. Chief!
I told Kathy that any marriage that could survive this had a good future. She laughed and accepted it all with understanding and good spirit. Kathy, could you stand a little good news?
Yes.
See that big mountain ahead there?
Don't tell me we have to climb that one, too.
Of course not, darling. The foot of that big peak is where the Howards live.
In a real house? With real people?
Mm-hmm. The house and the Howards may not be what you've been used to, but I think you'll find it better than camping in the snow.
I know I love the Howards, and I love their house.
All right, hop in. We'll be there before dark.
Hush!
Sergeant Murray,
Mike. Come in. No, it's Sergeant Mike.
Oh, well, Sergeant Mike.
Hello, Jane, boys. I got a big surprise for you this trip. Meet Mrs. Mike.
Mrs. Mike.
Kathy, these are the Howards.
Hello.
Well, where did you ever find something like this, Mike?
Had her imported from Boston, USA.
Boston. My, let me look at you. My, she's pretty.
Yeah, you done all right for yourself, Mike. Of course, you can't tell much when they're all bundled up like that.
Come on with me, dear. We'll get you out of that heavy parka.
I'll bring in your things, Kathy.
You must be worn out and half frozen. Following a dog sled's no joke for a girl from Boston. This'll be yours and Sergeant Mike's room. Thank you. It's very nice. How do you feel about leaving Boston so far behind? I feel fine. Here, let me help you, dear. Thank you. How long you been married? 2 weeks already. 2 weeks. All right, you boys. Go on outside and help Sergeant Mike with the dogs. You're the first woman they've ever seen outside of me. The first? Well, the first since they're old enough to remember. Well, you can wash up if you'd like. There's water in the pitcher. Here's a towel. Mrs. Howard? Yes? Thank you.
Everything all right?
Fine. Except the water's freezing cold.
Well, that's because you've begun to warm up indoors. It's good for your circulation.
Such a comfort to be married to a man who can explain away the cold. A man who can keep me warm is a little too much to ask.
What's that?
Mike! Is I that dirty?
No, darling. Towel had a head start before you ever got near it.
Don't they ever wash?
Well, sure they wash, but doing the laundry isn't easy up here in the wintertime. And I'll tell you a little secret. I never heard of anyone suffering from using a dirty towel. But I know a lot of people who got mighty sick from walking around with water on their neck.
Mike, you can wash up in the kitchen. I want a little time with your wife, too.
All right, Jane. She's all yours.
I can't tell you how glad I am to have you and Sergeant Mike here with us. I guess it does get kind of lonesome for you. Lonesome? Seems like there's always someone underfoot wherever I turn. There's certainly enough to keep a body busy. Of course, in the summer, when Henry goes off in the hills prospecting for gold, I get a hankering for conversation. Even with Henry. Has he ever found any gold? No, but he was mighty close 9 years ago. And again 4 years ago, we thought we'd hit it. We will someday. I hope so. We will. And when we do, we're going to Edmonton. We'll have a long holiday, and we'll buy so many things. What a lovely dress. Thank you. Oh, it's just beautiful. Would you like to wear it? Oh, No, Mrs. Mike, but thank you. You wear it. Let's both get dressed up tonight. I'll wear my best, too. We'll make it a real party. All right. You know, sometimes to help the weeks go faster when Henry's away, I make up lists of all the things we're going to get when he makes a strike. And he will. He will. He's just one stroke of the pick away.
Captain Mary O'Fallon. And what was that for?
That's to remind you that Catherine O'Fallon is not to be trifled with.
But Catherine Flannigan. That's a different matter.
Oh, that's a different matter entirely. What's that?
It's Mrs. Howard's prized possession, an organ she brought in here years ago.
The rose of Tralee, the pale moon was rising above the green mountain. The sun was declining beneath the blue sea when I strayed with my love to the pure crystal fountain that stands in the beautiful vale of Tralee. She was lovely and fair as the rose of the summer, yet was not her beauty alone that won me. Oh no, 'twas the truth in her eye ever dawning that made me love Mary, the rose of Tralee.
Oh, Mike, that was beautiful. Let's sing it again.
I'm hungry. Let's eat.
Maybe we'd better. Mike, you sit there. And Mrs. Mike, you sit right here.
Pass the bread.
I hope you like stew.
There you are. May I have your plate, Mike?
Now for dessert, we got tea and prunes. Prunes.
Only up here we call them lumberjack strawberries.
I like prunes.
I thought we were going to have a real dessert. Maybe candy.
Now you know it's all gone.
You know, I get the most terrible craving for candy. Like some men have for liquor. Only with me it's candy. It's terrible, I tell you.
I can tell you how terrible it is. My china went long ago. And the first chance I had to buy a new set, he took the money and spent it on candy. We had it stacked up around here for months. Imagine a grown man squandering money on candy.
I shouldn't have done it, but it's the most terrible craving I got. Terrible.
But I've saved one cup hidden through the years. One cup that didn't get broken. For you, dear. To celebrate this wonderful night. Thank you.
Well, I didn't know you had one of them left.
That's why I still got it. Otherwise, you'd have never...
Kathy.
It doesn't matter. It's just an old cup. Let me go to her. We never used the cup. We won't miss it. But we got by with 10 cups for a long time now. I'm so terribly, terribly sorry. You mustn't be. Why, when Henry strikes gold, we'll have all the cups we want.
Kathy.
Oh, my. Oh, my, the cup. That poor woman. She knows he'll never strike gold. Her whole life. Is that what this country does to a woman?
No, darling.
Oh, my, don't let it happen.
Oh, it can't, Kathy. You're a Mountie's wife. All Canada's our home. And even if it weren't, it would be different with us because we'd make it different. The only thing the North Country can do to us is bring us closer together.
I know it's only a wolf.
Yeah, you see? The North Country's bringing us closer together already. Although we left the Howard cabin far behind us, the Howard family entered our thoughts more than once. If I had any doubts about Kathy's ability to adjust to a new country, my answer was beside me. A young girl, enveloped in furs, stubbornly stumbling across the snow, determinedly fighting fatigue and cold.
Oh, my, couldn't we rest for a little while?
Are you sure you want to?
I'm so tired, I don't think I could take another step.
Well, you won't have to take many more steps, Kathy. Look, there's Hendricks Hope, our home.
Where, Mike? Where?
Right over there at the foot of the mountain. There's a trading post and several cabins.
You still want to rest?
No, let's go on.
Hush!
I knew that Kathy was disappointed in the size of Hendricks Hope. But the way she took the long journey encouraged me to feel that she could take any hardship that might come along.
Whoa!
Glad to see you again, Sergeant.
How are you, Jim?
Fine.
Kathy, this is Jim Henderson.
Hello.
Hello. I've been looking for you two since the freeze-up. See, a lot of stuff came in for you on that last shipment of government supplies. I put it in your cabin for you.
Well, Kathy, we won't have anything to do at all.
I even laid a fire for you. All you got to do is strike a match.
That's something we'll really appreciate.
Well, I appreciate having a police post reopened here. It'll sort of put Hendricks Hope on the map again.
Oh, is this your son?
This is Tommy.
Hello, Tommy.
How Nick come?
Where's Mrs. Henderson?
Me, Mrs. Henderson.
How do you do?
Well, we're anxious to get settled, Jim.
Oh, yeah. You run along. We'll be over to see you and Mrs. Mike later.
Thanks again for everything.
You bet. Hush!
Well, here we are, Kathy. We're home.
Oh, Mike, we've come so far for this.
Well?
It's nice.
Wait till I get a fire going. It'll be warm and cozy.
Oh, Mike, it is nice. And it's all ours, isn't it?
All ours. You want to see the rest of your home?
Oh, yes.
Well, it's a little bare, but with your talent for housekeeping and a little elbow grease on my part, it'll look like a palace. You just make yourself at home, Mrs. Flannigan. I'll get the rest of the stuff.
Oh, wait a minute, I almost forgot. There's something to be opened by you when we arrived at our new home.
To Mike, to fortify him for a long life with Kathy. Uncle John.
Oh.
Yeah, that's good Irish whiskey.
Are you a drinking man, Mike?
Not noticeably. But it'll come in handy for medicinal purposes.
Oh, Mike, we're going to be very happy here. I'm going to make this a real home for us.
Have I told you lately that I love you?
I think you mentioned it.
I love you, Kathy. Well?
Me at no. Great pain. Tooth hurt bad.
All right, Kathy. Well, that new, let's take a look at it. Get over here with the light. All right, open up, please. That tooth is really bad. Have to come out.
Is there a dentist here?
Dr. Michael Flannigan, the Royal Northwest Mounted Police.
You?
I'll get my kit.
Does it hurt very much? It does hurt terribly, doesn't it? Maybe this will help ease your pain, Mr. Antonou.
Glad to help me, Kathy.
Oh, Mike, I don't know anything about pulling a tooth.
Well, now's a good time to learn. Suppose you get me Uncle John's Irish whiskey. I'll have to sterilize my forceps. Thanks.
Kathy.
Oh, Mike, I didn't drink it. He did.
He did.
Well, he was in such pain, I thought I'd relieve him.
Do you realize what you've done? You've broken the law I'm up here to enforce. Nobody can give liquor to an Indian. You could get a minimum of 6 months in jail for that.
I only thought
Oh, it's too late now. It's too late. I'll get around to you later. You can read the instructions to me out of this book while I work. Oh, here it is. Whether the right there. Read it.
Whether the operator stands in front, behind, or at the side of the patient, it is important to remember that the mandible should always be well supported.
The what?
The mandible.
What's that?
The lower jaw, darling.
Oh.
The operator's left arm is hooked around the patient's head so that the fingers of the left hand can be used to keep the cheek, tongue, and other soft parts away.
Open up, Edna. Come on, open your mouth. Kathy, give me a hand.
What can I do?
Hold his nose.
His nose?
It'll make him open his mouth. Come on. Now, all right, go on.
Now, carefully insert the forceps into the mouth.
Yeah?
Wait a minute. And place the left knee between the patient's legs.
Oh, I'm sure that isn't necessary.
Oh, Mike, you better do exactly what the book says.
Read it again.
And place the left knee between the patient's legs.
But I can't. That's impossible.
Mike, that's what the book says, and you'd better... Oh,
What's the matter?
I skipped a couple of pages. That knee was for giving artificial respiration. Here it is. Secure the tooth in the beak of the forceps and pull with a twisting motion until the extraction is complete.
Here you are, Cat Dude. The bad tooth.
Tooth of wisdom. You take. Love charm. Keep love always.
Thank you very much. Oh, Mike, I think...
Pretty squaw.
Thank you, Edna.
But plenty weak.
You're plenty drunk. Now get that cell and sleep it off.
Me, good Indian.
March!
Kathy kept her word and did make a real home for us. She became an expert cook, although she'd never learned how to make a good cup of coffee. I discovered that I was really quite fond of tea. Home was also my office. People came to me with a variety of problems, some of which could not be solved while seated at my desk. Report of a man missing in the snow country was one of the most common reasons for a Mountie going out on patrol. In the past, leaving the post was a welcome break in my routine. But now, it was quite different. No matter how deeply involved in my work I might be, no matter what remote spot I might be called to, at night my thoughts always sped back to Kathy. I knew that my patrols meant great loneliness for her, but she never complained. she managed to find things to do. Mrs. Henderson became Kathy's closest friend, and the Henderson Trading Post the center of what little social life she had.
Anika. Kinsine Shotokwa? Shotokwa. Thank you. Shotokwa. Shotokwa. Good.
Oh, you're doing very well. You'll have it finished in time for the new baby. When do you expect your baby?
Expect?
Yes. When will the baby come?
When baby ready. Him come.
Do you have any fear of having a baby? Are you afraid?
Afraid? Of little baby?
Aren't you worried about not having a doctor?
Me no sick. I no need doctor.
But you're going to have a baby. When Tommy was born, did you have any trouble?
Oh, Tommy, good boy. Tommy, no trouble.
You're so much wiser than so many people I know. It's Mike. Mike's back.
Miss me?
Not a bit, not a bit. Just the longest 2 weeks of my life.
The trip was fine when the blizzard died down. Then when we found Emerson, I sent Atnew up the Indian village.
Who's Emerson?
He's the trapper, the one who was lost. I'm going to have to vaccinate that whole tribe. That's why I sent Atnew to talk to Chief Iron Eye.
Why, can a trapper, a man who knows this country, get lost?
Kathy, I suppose anybody could get lost in the dog country, including the dogs.
It's good to have you home again, Mike.
I won't be leaving again until next week, and then only for a couple of days.
Then I'll have you all to myself for a while.
Chief Iron Eye's here.
All right, Atnew. Bring him in. Looks like we're going to have company.
Oh, nice.
Hiya, Chief. What's the trouble, Atnew? Why'd you bring him here?
They say tribe not want vaccination.
Well, tell them vaccination is necessary because there's sickness in the beaver tribe south of them.
I'd shoot this, so it says. Beaver tribe.
Jagonosh, Neja Esa, Neswaga Kutnike, Newakoye.
They say they fear white man's medicine more than white man's sickness.
Tell them the sickness is smallpox. It kills and spreads like fire.
I'd shoot this, so it's smallpox.
Chone, Takwale, Tata, Tawa, Kwano, Tashi.
They say white man's medicine full of evil spirits.
Well, tell them I'll vaccinate you to show them how harmless it is.
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to have trouble with you, too. Well, tell them...
Tell them they don't have the courage of a squaw.
Yeah, tell them that.
I'd shoot this, so it's squaw.
Nekwane.
Wait, Chief, wait. Kathy, dear, how long has it been since you were vaccinated?
4 years ago.
Get ready for some more white man's medicine.
All right, it'll help get rid of them.
Observe. If this hurts, this is no time to scream. Up and to it. All right, Atnew. Roll up your sleeve.
Natane,
Wait.
All right, Chief.
Yaksa.
He say her first.
Well, what's another vaccination, more or less?
Careful, Sergeant. The last one hurt.
Oh, yeah? All right, you. All right.
No tane.
Zigani.
I know. Her first. What's the population of this village?
Oh, a couple hundred. If this works, we won't have any trouble with the rest of them. All right. Yeah?
Andiana Gawasa.
He say he tell people white man's medicine not bad.
Good. We'll see you the next week.
Monoguena, Dixa.
He say better bring squaw.
I don't know what I'd do without you.
You can always buy a pincushion.
Did I hurt you, darling?
Not much. You're becoming quite a medicine man.
Yeah, I guess I am at that. Treating frostbite, pulling teeth, getting vaccinations.
Lots of them.
I even had a broken leg last week. Of course, it was only dog, but it's the same principle. And I even delivered a baby once.
Then you'll be able to deliver ours.
I mean a real, live, healthy baby boy.
Mike, you're wonderful.
Last month... What did you say?
I said you're wonderful.
No, I mean before that.
You mean about being able to deliver our baby?
Kathy. Kathy! Oh, Kathy!
Won't Uncle John be surprised to see us?
Uncle John?
Yes, I thought we'd go to Calgary to have the baby. Or would Edmonton be better?
Darling, you'll have the baby right here.
Here?
Certainly. People do all the time.
Mike, we're so far away from everything and everybody.
Kathy, the women up here, Mrs. Henderson and the others, they know more about delivering babies than anybody. Even more than I do.
But having a baby out here in this wilderness...
Wilderness? Darling, there's no place in the world a baby would rather be born. You've never seen this country in the summertime. It's beautiful and it's green. You'll love it, and our son will love it, too. He can fish and hunt.
What makes you so sure it's going to be a he?
A girl baby wouldn't dare be born to the Flanigans. Oh, we've a wonderful summer ahead of us, darling. A wonderful summer. I counted on time to build up Kathy's confidence in the country. I hoped that her remaining fears would vanish with the winter snow. But as the seasons changed, she developed an increasing anxiety about Mrs. Henderson, who would have her baby a couple of months sooner than Kathy. I knew what was going on in her mind, but I relied on summer to brighten her outlook. Nature cooperated and made that summer even greener and more beautiful than usual.
It's hard to believe there ever was a winter.
I've kept my promise, haven't I?
You promised?
I promised a beautiful summer for you and for our son.
Yes, Mike. You've kept your promise.
But what, dear?
Well, I've tried not to, Mike, but I can't help being a little worried.
You haven't seen Mrs. Henderson worrying, have you?
No.
You're forgetting something, dear. Women have been having babies for years and years. Long before there was such a place as Hendricks Hope. Even before Boston.
I guess you're right. You're always right. How's the tail?
She's all right. But the kid was born dead.
Here, darling. Look, isn't that wonderful? It's so strong, even our grandchildren will be using it. Here's his chair. You put the little sergeant in, he ducks his head, there's the table.
We've got to get out of here. We've got to get out of here.
Kathy, what's the matter?
I won't have my baby in this place.
Darling, what's come over you?
Mrs. Henderson's baby was born dead. I don't want that to happen to my baby.
Kathy, I'm awfully sorry about Mrs. Henderson's baby. But nothing's going to happen to yours. You'll have the best of care.
If you love me, you'll get me out of here. You'll take me to Calgary or Edmonton.
But I can't.
You mean you won't?
No, dear, I can't. An overland trip to Calgary or Edmonton is impossible for you this time of the year. You'd have to walk a lot of the way.
Well, then take me someplace. Any place, so I won't be so alone.
Don't you understand, dear? I would have to apply for transfer. That would take a month. A long trip at such a late date is much more of a risk for you than having the baby here.
Ike, if I have to crawl out of Hendrick's Hope on my hands and knees, I won't have the baby here.
All right, Kathy. It's all right. I'll apply for transfer. Just don't worry, darling. We'll make it. When my transfer orders came through, it was already dangerously close to Kathy's time. We were heading for Fort Minette, a larger settlement, but one that was much farther north. The long trip had me more worried than I cared to admit.
How much farther do we have to go?
Well, we're halfway now. You feel all right?
Oh, yes. I feel fine.
It was clear that Kathy, too, had misgivings about the journey, but there was no turning back. She tried her best to brave it through. As time passed, neither of us found it possible to conceal our feelings entirely. What is it, dear?
Oh, Mike, I'm scared.
Oh, darling, we're only a couple of days away.
We'll never make it. We'll never make it.
Yes, we will.
Mike, I don't want to have my baby out here in this wilderness.
Dear, if you feel up to it, we can travel all night.
Yes. We'll get there any quicker. Anything.
I remembered a cabin somewhere along here. I decided to leave Kathy with whoever lived there and go on to Fort Minette alone. I figured I could get the doctor to her more quickly than I could get Kathy to the doctor. I'm Sergeant Flannigan, and this is my wife.
Come in. Sit down. I'm Mrs. Mathers.
Mrs. Mathers, I'd like to leave my wife with you while I go to Fort Minette for a doctor.
Doctor? What's wrong with her?
Nothing's wrong. She's going to have a baby.
And you want a doctor for that? All right, Sergeant, you can leave her with me.
Thank you. Kathy, dear, I'll get to Fort Minette tonight. We'll be back in the morning.
Hurry, Mike, please.
I will, darling, as fast as I can.
Don't worry about her, Sergeant. I'll take care of her.
Thank you.
You don't get back in time, it won't be the first baby I've delivered. Come on in here. You better get to bed.
If we hadn't found you, I might have had my baby alone without any help.
You wouldn't have been the first one.
I know, lots of women do, but I'm a little frightened.
Does no good to be frightened. Don't help one way or another.
I guess not.
Gonna lose the baby, you're gonna lose the baby.
I don't want to lose my baby.
Of course not. If it's a strong baby, you won't lose it. If it's weak, it'll die. That's the law of nature. It's better that way, especially up here. If it's a weak baby, you can coddle it along for a while. maybe keep it alive. It's still a weak child. Something comes along and it's gone. And a piece of your heart's gone with it. You'd be better off if the baby had died at birth.
No, leave me alone, please.
I'm only trying to help you.
Please, leave me alone. Why?
Mike Flannigan.
Mike, come in, lad, come in. I didn't expect you until tomorrow.
Well, I didn't expect to be here. Where can I find Doc McIntosh?
Why, what's the matter?
My wife needs him right away. She's going to have a baby.
The old doc's out of town on a case, Mike.
Out of town? How far?
We couldn't get him back here before tomorrow.
Oh, Ned, that'll be too late.
Here, let me get into some clothes, and we'll see whatever else we can do.
Well, you're back in the land of the living.
Why? Is he back?
He won't be back in time.
He will. How long has he been gone?
All night and half of the day. Most of that time you've been out of your head.
He'll be here soon. He must.
It's too late already.
No. No.
I've got to help you.
Get away from me.
I'm going to help you. Too late already. I've got to help you. I've got to help you. I've got to help you. I've got to help you.
Kathy.
Mike.
Kathy. Kathy, darling.
Oh, Mike. Mike. A cup of tea do you more good than Mike. Mike.
Kathy, dear, this is wonderful Sarah.
Hello, Mrs. Mike. Hello. Mike. Baby.
We have a wonderful, beautiful daughter.
Is the baby all right? All right. This baby extra special perfect. Oh. Oh. You're very lucky you have baby so easy. Easy? The woman, Mrs. Mathers, she very strange from living too much alone. She frighten you and make it difficult for you. Without worry, you could have baby just like that. Where's the doctor? I'd like to thank...
This is your doctor, dear.
Sarah?
Yes, Sarah. And the way she handled things would do justice to the best hospital in Boston.
I'll always be grateful to you. You do not need me, Mrs. Mike. You could have baby alone. No help at all. I'm certainly glad I didn't. I'm glad, too. Now I can think she is a little bit mine.
There's not very much baby here to share.
Bring the baby here, Sergeant Mike. When you have third or fourth baby, you will know how to hold one.
Third or fourth?
Sure, you're going to have dozen babies. No, Mrs. Mike? If you'll be with me each time, I'll be with you.
Sarah had gone on ahead, but not before she had acquainted Kathy with most of her future friends at Fort Manette. Made me love Mary, the rose of trolley.
Oh, Mike, do you suppose all mothers feel this way about her?
What way about what?
I just think she's so beautiful.
Sure she is. She's the image of you.
Oh, no, she looks like you. Look at her. Her eyes are so blue you could swim in them.
You think you can turn around without tipping a canoe?
Oh, I'm quite comfortable. Besides, I like looking at you.
All right. When you get tired looking at me, turn around. Fort Manette's right behind you.
Fort Manette?
Steady, Kathy, steady.
Glad to see all three of you.
Figuring for the three of us, we're glad to be here. Hello, Doc.
Welcome, Michael, welcome.
Kathy, this is Ned Cameron and Dr. McIntosh.
I'm very pleased to meet you, Mrs. Flannigan.
How do you
We're
do?
happy you're going to be with us, Kathy. Let me take the baby.
Oh, now, careful. What's that room? Oh, Mrs. Flannigan, this is Pierre.
Sarah's boy.
Pleased to meet you, Mrs. Flannigan.
Where's your mother?
Why,
Oh, we'll find her. You'd better see your home first.
Now, run along, Kathy. I'll unload the canoe.
Here, now, we'll do the work. Remember, you've just become a father. You've got to take it easy.
Watch him, Pierre. He's liable to fall.
Oh, Sarah knows the job, all right. Did you name the baby yet?
Yes, Mary Aroon.
Oh, I like that name. And I like Kathy, too. You know, if I'd known she looked like this, I'd had you transferred here a long time ago myself.
Don't listen to his blarney, Kathy. He's a wicked old man.
Not old, Michael Flannigan.
Hey, Mac, where are you taking us? The post is over there.
Well, we all thought that now that you're a family man, you need a bit more room than you'd have at the post. So... Well, you're too lazy to carry across the threshold. I must have do it myself.
Welcome.
Sarah.
Oh, Sarah. Oh, Sarah, it's so good to see you again. Good to see you, too, Mrs. Mike. And you, Sergeant.
Hello, Sarah.
I want you to meet my friends. This is Georgette Beauclair.
Madame.
Georgette. Then this must be Louis.
Oui, Louis.
Oh, Sarah told us all about you.
Hello, Louis. Ça.
And these are the twins. Oui, Madeleine and Bardette. Hello.
hello.
There, now you know everyone. Georgette, come and look. This is ma belle.
Oh, la petite.
Oui.
Oh, so pretty.
Let me have her, Doctor.
Go away. You've got years to spoil her in.
Well, you not expect to see this, huh, Mrs. Mike? You expect maybe an old cabin with dirt on floor 3 feet deep. Oh, it's wonderful, but you've gone to so much trouble.
Oh, we do it just like that.
You get cold, look out back. I chop plenty of wood.
Thanks, Louis.
We want you to be happy. Georgette and Louis, they're my good friends. They want to be your good friends, too. They will be. They are. I feel at home already.
Kathy, look.
It's beautiful. Pierre, my son, he makes that. Who painted the pictures? Pierre, my son.
He do many things, you will see.
Pierre, come here. Thank you for the cradle, Pierre. It's very, very beautiful.
I'm glad you like it, Mrs. Mike.
And here's someone else that's going to like it.
Are you sorry I made you transfer?
Sorry? No, I'm not sorry for anything. It makes you happy?
How nice it was of Sarah and the others to fix the house.
Well, they're wonderful people. They're building a country up here with not much more than their bare hands. And people like that are pretty apt to be kind, thoughtful, and unselfish. I hope you'll learn to love them the way I do.
I will. And I am going to be happy here, Mike.
That's all I care about doing.
10 o'clock.
Might as well throw my watch away.
Would you like to kiss your daughter goodnight?
I thought I did.
That was 4 hours ago. You still don't know much about the habits of babies, do you?
Oh, I don't know. Didn't you see me change her whatchamacallit this afternoon?
That's what I mean.
Oh, well, having two beautiful women around the house is enough to make any man awkward. Suppose she recognizes me yet?
No.
And she's 2 weeks old. When I was 2 weeks old. Come in.
Bonsoir.
Georgette.
We go pick berries this afternoon. Madeleine and Barbette, they say, bring some to Mrs. Mike. So I do it.
Oh, that's very nice. Thank you.
Well, I should get at least one pie out of that.
Oh, what a little angel. So like my little Suzanne.
Suzanne, is that another daughter?
Oui, a baby like this. Oh, it was a long time ago. She was my first family.
First family?
You are young, Mrs. Mike. Women up here speak of first family, second family, third family. Madeleine and Barbette, they are my third family. Suzanne, René. When you lose a family, you start again. Like Pierre. He is Sarah Carpentier's second family.
Georgette, how's Louis?
Oh, him? He worked like an ox. I tell him, we don't work so hard. He's like telling a river to stop running. He just...
Sarah! Sergeant Mike, have you seen Pierre?
No, Sarah, not since this morning. Why?
He not come home all afternoon. Not even to his supper.
Did he say he was going anyplace?
He say he might take you to Crowder's Point today.
Crowder's Point?
Oh, Sergeant Mike, I'm afraid. Just a little while ago, maybe a month, an Indian boy was torn to pieces by a bear not 1 mile away from here.
Georgette, get Louis and some of the other men. Meet me at the office right away.
What could have happened?
I hope nothing. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Not yet? They'll find him, Sarah. Mike will find him.
Yes, they find him, I think.
I'm sure you have no reason to worry.
Never is reason to worry. But sometimes there's reason to wonder.
To wonder?
I think they find Pierre. But I wonder, do they find him in time? Or do they find him... Is he alive?
He's alive, Sarah, but he's lost a lot of blood.
What happened?
His arm. We found him pinned under a boulder.
Sergeant Mike.
Easy, Pierre. Don't try to talk. You know what I've got to do, Sarah?
I'm not sure.
The boy's elbow has been completely shattered.
I understand. His arm. His right arm.
It's got to be done, Sarah.
You do what you have to do, Doctor.
That's right. Just like that.
long, Kathy?
Will he live?
Yes, he'll live. With one arm.
Oh, but he will live.
Is that the only thing that's important, that he'll live?
It is not the only important thing, but it is the most important thing.
I can't accept things the way you do. Lose a child, have another. Life means nothing up here.
You are wrong. It is that life means everything. Pierre lose an arm. It is very sad, but it is not tragic. He is still alive.
Be grateful that you're able to breathe. Is that what you're saying? This country. You just begin to trust
every country has its hazards. Life is not easy. But one must try to make his life so that it is worth the struggle.
Pierre will be all right.
To feel others' pain, it is a good fault.
But will she learn?
She will learn. Good night, Sergeant Mike.
Good night, Georgia.
And in the months that followed, Kathy did learn to adjust to the North Country. I now felt that for the first time, she really fully accepted her life up here without reservation. That Christmas was Mary O'Roon's first. Although gifts were scarce, trees were plentiful. It was an occasion that could not be passed over lightly, and Kathy and I made the most of it. But I suspect that our daughter did not fully appreciate our efforts. And suddenly Mary O'Roon was almost 2 years old, and Fort Minette already 25. To celebrate the latter event, I was to make a speech.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is scarcely a year and a half since my family and I arrived at Fort Minette, which was first settled 25 years ago today. In celebrating the anniversary of the founding of this settlement, we are all old-timers and newcomers alike, accepting the challenge. It is the challenge of nature to man. We, who are extending the frontiers of this great territory, are struggling not against other men, but can't you stay in one place long enough for me to rehearse my speech?
Well, honey, not if you wanted to get there in time for you to make the speech. Go on. I'm listening.
We are struggling not against other men, but with other men. We are... Well, I know someone who will stay in one place and listen to every word. We are struggling not to control men, but to help men control nature. This spirit enables us to endure the many hardships that often come our way. As I stand before this audience this evening and look out among your wonderful faces, I see represented the spirit of the new world. The spirit that carves...
And now we will officially open the celebration of the 25th anniversary of the founding of Fort Minette by singing The Maple Leaf Forever. Gentlemen.
In days of yore from Britain's shore, Wolfe the dauntless hero came, and planted firm Britannia's flag on Canada's fair domain. Here may it wave, our boast, our pride, and
Take her straight home, Louis. Looks like we have trouble on our hands, Mike. Maybe serious trouble. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not the speech I'd planned to make. I wish I didn't have to make this one. We have just discovered a case of diphtheria among us. We've all been in close contact here, and the danger of the disease spreading is great. Now, everyone must act in common interest without panic. When I finish speaking to you, you will return to your homes immediately. Have as little contact with your neighbors as possible. Now get your things and let's all file out of here quickly and in an orderly manner.
Oh, you're home early. And the baby didn't even cry once.
Thank you for staying, Pierre. Now you better run along home.
Is anything wrong?
Well, your mother will explain it to you. You go straight to your cabin like a good boy, huh?
Good night, Sergeant Mike.
Good night, Pierre.
You think she'll be all right?
She'll be fine. Let's not wake her.
Oh, Mike, what's going to happen?
We'll know in a few days if this is just an isolated case or if we're really in trouble. In the meantime, there's several precautions you can take. Lock the door and don't let anybody in. You can talk to people through the door and window. The main thing is to make no direct contact.
Where are you going?
To see Doc McIntosh. He'll need my help.
Mike, you'll be exposing yourself even more.
You better put some of my things on the front porch. I'll stay at the post until this blows over.
But Mary O'Roon and I will be here alone.
It's safer this way, dear. The post is only a few yards away.
Mike, what...
If you need me, hang something white outside. I'll keep a close watch.
Be careful, Mike.
Within a week, the old mission school was converted into an emergency hospital. The doctor's small supply of serum became precious. I sent the fastest man I could find for an additional supply as soon as the situation looked critical. The disease spread with alarming speed. The white sheet became a common signal in the community, and death became a familiar visitor. Everyone who was able gave his energies to the fight against diphtheria. Although Kathy remained in the cabin with Mary O'Roon, she was kept busy preparing broth for the patients of the mission.
Piled up in the hill, then the Ducroix, now the Ravels. Mike, we've got a full-scale epidemic in our hands.
Yeah, not enough serum left to fill the belly of a healthy mosquito. The beat's been gone a week now.
Oh, there's no telling when it'll be back. And every day a wee bit of serum gets smaller and smaller.
Sergeant Mike, a doctor. Georgette Beauclair, she's very sick.
Have you looked at her?
Yes.
You go back to the mission, Sarah. I'll go over to Beauclair's right now.
Mike, darling.
Hello, dear.
I have the broth ready.
Hello, darling. Stay back. Stay back.
Mary O'Roon!
Stay back, darling. Captain.
You must stay back, baby. How long will this go on?
I don't know. I can't pretend it's getting any better because it isn't. Georgette Beauclair took sick today.
Georgette. We're trapped, Mike. We're trapped in here with this terrible thing closing in on us.
A new supply of serum should arrive any time now. When it does, we'll get things under control.
I hope it comes soon. I hope it comes soon.
You'd better go on home, Louis. Louis, we need wood. Lots of wood to keep the place warm. Will you chop some wood for us?
I chop wood. I chop all wood you need.
Doctor. Doctor, will you come here, please?
Apply that on her neck. Doc, Georgette looks bad. Has she had any serum?
No.
Shall I give her some?
We're too low, Mike. From now on, the serum is only for children. Swab her throat with tannic acid, with plenty of it. You can only hope it'll help.
Very good. That's okay. Let me help you.
Hey, Mommy. Hey, Mommy.
Oh, honey, just a little bit.
Hey, Mommy.
Just a little bit.
Hey,
Look,
Mommy.
it's very good.
Hey, Mommy.
Little bit. Just a little bitty bit. Baby.
Mommy. Mommy. Hey, Mommy.
Hello, sweetheart. Did your throat hurt? I'll get you something to make you feel better. She might have had a chance if the serum had come.
Aye. Now we're completely out of it. Not a drop of it left for anybody. From now on, every hour may mean a life.
But Pete'll get here soon, Doc. Any minute.
You'd better get some sleep, Mike. Sarah and I have been taking turns.
I'm all right.
I'm telling you to go and get some sleep.
I'm sorry.
Mary alone. Mary alone. Oh,
Sam just got here. You better come to the mission right away.
Go ahead. There's nothing you can do here anymore.
Let's at least be thankful the epidemic is over.
Yes, the epidemic is over. But our child is dead.
Kathy, darling.
We fought this country to have our baby, only to have it lash out and take her from us.
Don't torture yourself this way. Life must go on.
What kind of a life? A life that makes a Mrs. Howard old before her time. A life that takes the arm of a young boy.
We've had a share of happiness.
A life that snatches an innocent baby into a grave. If that's the kind of life that goes on, I don't want it.
Please, dear.
Oh, Mike, let's get out of here. Let's leave this awful country. Let's go to Boston, anywhere.
You can't run away from life, Kathy. It doesn't solve anything. And besides, I can't leave. I have responsibilities here.
You have responsibilities toward everyone but your own family.
That's not true.
Mike, I'm leaving. If you won't come with me, I'm going alone.
Darling, you're all wrought out. You don't realize what you're saying.
I know exactly what I'm saying and what I'm going to do. I'm going where human beings have a decent chance.
Kathy, I can't leave here now. I don't want you to leave either. We've had happiness here. We've had sorrow, too.
I've made up my mind, Mike. I'm leaving.
I knew there was no changing Kathy's mind. There was nothing for me to do but arrange for someone to take her south to Hendricks Hope. There, Jim Henderson would get her on the riverboat.
It's Goodbyes are difficult. Pierre. Goodbye, Mrs. Mike. Pierre, he feel the same way like his mother. But I not run away. Sarah. Wonderful, Sarah.
As you well know, I'm a man not given to sentiment. But I want to say... Well, I'm afraid I've forgotten what I want to say. But God bless you, Kathy.
Try not to hate me, Mike.
I love you, Kathy. If your world seems to have turned upside down, there's one thing you can count on. I'll always love you. Perhaps it was too small, too crowded with memories. At any rate, I moved into the post. But I was not to remain there for long.
You know, Carruthers, a third stripe goes with this post. When a man's been a corporal as long as I have, that third stripe looks mighty good. Well, that makes it fine all around, because I'm rather glad to get transferred out of here. That new post of yours is going to look rather small after this. I know, I was stationed there. That's right, I remember. The people at Hendricks Hope were all excited about your coming back. Hendricks Hope. Well, if there's no objection, I'll get an early start in the morning. None at all, Sergeant, whenever you're ready.
With each stroke of the paddle, I tried to push all thoughts of Kathy behind me. But every mile of the long trip south brought me closer to Hendricks Hope, closer to the place where Kathy and I began our life together. Thoughts of her clung to me, surrounded me, followed me.
Hello, Jim. Mike Flannigan. I'm glad to see you again, Mike. Mighty glad.
Good to see you, Jim. How's Tommy and your wife?
Oh, fine. Tommy's a big boy now. He's out fishing. And the missus...
Hello, Sergeant Mike.
Well, out there. Now, who is this?
This is our new baby girl.
Well, congratulations. How old is she?
About 6.5 months now.
Her name's Kathy.
She's lovely. I'm a little tired, Jim. I'll run along and see you folks later.
Oh, sure, Mike. You go along. We'll have a talk after you get settled. You'll find your cabin all supplied and ready for you.
Good. Thank you.
Still critical of my coffee making, Michael Flannigan? Oh, Mike, I've done so much running away. When Mrs. Henderson lost her baby, I made us leave here.
That's all past, dear.
Mike, when I saw a new baby, and it's such a healthy, beautiful baby.
Darling.
And then I found out that you were coming here. And I suddenly knew that you were right. But life does go on. Oh, Mike, wherever you are, will be home for me.